Elon Musk's far-right antics have already sunk sales of Teslas in Europe and by a massive 67%. That's by two-thirds. That's huge. The world's richest man's woes, though, are only increasing on this continent of ours. And that's because existing Tesla customers are now suing the company. They're upset that their cars have become extreme right symbols. So the 10 customers suing the company are all stuck in contracts leasing their cars from Tesla. So you sort of lease the car for 4 years, then you can buy it afterwards. They say that Trump's actions since they acquired their cars have depreciated their ability to enjoy driving their cars in peace. The case cites incidents such as Musk doing what looked very much like a Nazi salute, as well as endorsing the German AfD party. And a lawyer for the drivers has said this. Because of Elon Musk's actions, Tesla branded vehicles have become strong political symbols and now appear to be veritable extreme right totems, to the dismay of those who acquired them with the sole aim of possessing an innovative and ecological vehicle. Obviously, the coding of a Tesla is probably the product that has had the most dramatic turnaround, because electric cars used to be sort of associated with the liberal left, and now the leading electric car company is run by a right-wing nut job. The suit alleges that customers face a higher risk of vandalism against their cars, higher insurance costs, and a depreciation in the value of the cars. Again, all because of Musk's antics in recent months. And the lawyers at least claim to have some persuasive evidence. So they've said that vandals had engraved one client's Tesla with a swastika, while others had defecated on a client's car. And for his part, Elon Musk is yet to show any remorse for getting people's cars smeared in shit. But he has this week expressed remorse for something else. So he says, I regret my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far. Apparently, he has deleted the various tweets accusing Donald Trump of being in the Epstein files. Stephen, do you think these Tesla owners have a case? I mean, they're only trying to get out of their... I don't think they're even like asking for loads of money in return. They're trying to get out of their contract. So they're in a 4-year contract. Like, you might have a 1-year contract with a phone. I mean, maybe some of our viewers have rented cars, so they don't need me to sort of break this down in a language that I understand. But apparently, I can't drive. You lease a car for 4 years, you get it new, and then once you're released from that contract, you can buy it at a reduced price. These people, they're maybe a year or two into their lease, and they're saying, this isn't the car we thought we were leasing, because now everyone thinks we're Nazis and tries to shit on our cars. How do you see this going?
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand French law. I have no idea what rights people have to get out of contracts in France. I mean, I think it does show you, though, how quickly status can vanish. I mean, it's very hard to get it, very quick to lose it, as these bougie French people are finding out now that their Teslas aren't the kind of I don't know, green fancy status symbols that they were before. But I mean, whether they get out of it or not, I mean, it's hard to imagine that Elon Musk is really going to care, given that, just last week he called the president of the United States a pedophile in front of millions of people. I mean, didn't literally use those words, but the implication was clear enough. So I feel like, given the losses that he's made, which I'm not very good at numbers, so I've written them down here, which is a 14.2% drop in Tesla's share price, wiping off $152 billion from its capital, Musk's own fortune dropping by $9 billion in the wake of that row. It doesn't feel like, a bunch of French drivers on a contract are going to upset him. I mean, as you said as well, also, that stock is slowly climbing now that he's climbed down from some of those statements. But it's interesting to think. I see that, like, Musk has to climb down and has to apologize, because it's a pretty hard lesson to learn that even though you may be one of the world's richest men, you're not nearly as powerful as the president of the world's richest country, who has the entire US government basically to deploy against Musk if he wanted to, removing contracts for SpaceX and so forth. So a pretty bitter lesson for Musk to learn. But I guess the thing he probably wants to do quite carefully is not get too close to Trump again. I mean, if you're thinking about like Tesla share, Tesla value, uh, kind of, make the apology so he doesn't lose his SpaceX contracts or doesn't, there's no further rupture, but not get too close so that he doesn't scare off people like these French drivers who are trying to get off out of the contract. Other potential Tesla customers. Although, to be honest, the brand is never going to be the same, or it's going to take a very long time to regain the status that it once had. I mean, you can't just go around throwing Sig Heils and expect your brand not to be tarnished. But interesting to see what he does and how close he tries to get himself to Trump again. Whether Trump will want him close, I guess, is another question.
Yeah, it is interesting because in that standoff, it clearly did escalate when Trump said we'll cancel SpaceX's contracts, and that would, really financially harm Elon Musk. But at the same time, Elon Musk does have an enormous amount of leverage because, yes, he's probably not quite as powerful as the president of the world's most powerful country, but he does own 2/3 of the satellites in the sky. And he owns sort of the only space fleet that can reliably take American astronauts to the International Space Station. So he, it's, it's not obvious who has more power, him or Donald Trump. Although the fact that now he is groveling back to the president suggests that probably you are right there, Stephen. A couple of comments. PP Poo Poo, one of my favorite commenters on here. Can't they find a National Front supporter to sell the cars to? I suppose the issue here is why sort of Teslas are in a bit of a bind, because they are a product that, traditionally appeals to liberals. I don't think National Front voters tend to buy electric cars. So until you have sort of completely switched how sort of people, the types of people that want electric cars, you're in a really difficult situation if you've created an electric car for right wingers, right? That's a difficult thing to sell. Someone's also said, however much you dislike someone, don't shit on their car, which I think is probably true. I agree with those values expressed there.